Well, hello, church. It's Pastor Jeremy coming to you from the parsonage with another daily devotion. Today, we continue our tour of the stained glass windows at the Street United Methodist Church as we finish learning about the life of the apostle called Simon Peter. And we learned in previous devotions that the Gospels tell us a lot about Peter. The one thing that the Gospels don't tell us about is Peter's death. We know that Peter had a ministry in the city of Jerusalem. And the book of Acts tells us that at some point Peter left Jerusalem to go to another place. But the Bible doesn't tell us where that place was. Most of what we know about Peter after that moment comes from tales and legends of the early church. The early traditions of the church tell us that when he left Jerusalem, Peter went to the city of Rome. We learn more in a book called The Acts of Peter. The Acts of Peter was written more than 100 years after the death of Peter, so it's hard to say how reliable it is. The Acts of Peter tells us that Peter had a ministry in the city of Rome, but when a persecution broke out in the city, he decided to leave and find a new ministry somewhere safer. As Peter was walking out of the city, he suddenly had a vision in which he saw Jesus walking along the same road in the opposite direction. "Where are you going?" Peter asked. In Latin, he said, "Quo vadis?" "I am going to Rome to be crucified again," Jesus answered. Peter understood the message. He understood that it was his turn to carry the cross. He turned around and went back into Rome, where he was arrested and sentenced to death. As he was about to be crucified, Peter made a request. He asked if he could be crucified upside down, because he didn't feel that he was worthy of dying in the same way that Jesus had died. In the sanctuary window, we see an upside down cross, a reminder that God has not called us to run away from difficult things, a reminder that our calling as followers of Jesus is to go to those places where people are suffering, that we might meet Jesus among them. Would you pray with me? God of resurrection, you are present wherever there is suffering and fear. Be present through us in those places, that the world might see your love. Through Christ, who walked towards Jerusalem, even when he knew that the cross was waiting. Amen. Well, thank you for spending a little time with us today. You can find a new devotion right here each day at noon. Until we meet again, keep washing your hands, keep wearing your mask, and do not be afraid.